Significant impacts from this winter storm are moving in just as we forecast. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, new models show how much of each your town can expect. Plus, the timing of it all and how long its impacts could be felt through our weekend.
Plus, the WRAL Storm Tracker is on the road, tracking live driving conditions and reports of power outages. Complete team coverage of the winter storm on this WRAL Weather Alert Day.
You can see the snow starting to accumulate out here as this winter mix moves into our area. We're talking to people about how they have switched up their schedules to accommodate for this incoming storm.
As expected, snow is falling all over our viewing area right now. Fayetteville Street in downtown Raleigh is covered, and snow is falling in Cary, too. And then how about the Durham Bulls Athletic Park? It sees snow all over the field there. 0.4 of an inch has already fallen. And Chapel Hill's Franklin Street is also snow covered.
Our team is on top of it all tonight. We have live crews across the Triangle and all of central North Carolina, including the WRAL Storm Tracker. We are keeping our eye on the roads and the live center as more snow is headed this way. Thank you for joining us on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. We have seen snow starting to stick in Wake County, right? Just look behind us here on Fayetteville Street. Sleet in Johnston County and a whole lot of snow on the ground in Orange County. Here are a few other big bullet points at this hour. At RDU, the weather is responsible for 112 flight cancellations. A little more than 420 Duke Energy customers are without power.
The DOT has 260 plows ready to respond to whatever is coming next. Let's get a look at where the storm is headed next. We expect more snow in the hours ahead. Meteorologist Kat Campbell's on the WRAL weather patio. Kat, got some good snow going on down there.
We got some good snow, but there is sleet mixing in as well. And if you at home are wondering kind of how to tell the difference, the easiest way is that you can hear the sleet. You can't hear the snow. A live look at downtown Raleigh. As expected, road conditions are quickly deteriorating. That's a live look there at Jimmy V's. But we want to take a look across the area at some other areas. Apex, the roads starting to see, some of the snow stick to the roads there, some sleet still as well. And let's go ahead and take a look as well at Durham, where we've got the snow really coming down, and covering the field there. As we mentioned a moment ago, our first official snowfall report is out from Durham at just under half an inch. 0.4 inches of snow in Durham. The snow is sticking in Cary, Raleigh, Youngsville, Apex, Goldsboro. You are seeing sleet right now, and there's still some sleet mixed in. I can hear the sleet out here. I can see the sleet, but there are snowflakes mixed in the Raleigh area as well. And we're really starting to see the intensity of this pickup. So, as we move forward over the next couple of hours, that's going to be your best shot at a coating of snow on the ground around the Triangle for the first time in nearly 3 years. So the radar here, the dual Doppler 5000 radar, the blue is mostly snow with some sleet mixed in. The pink is more sleet and freezing rain, and that's what we've got toward Goldsboro, Fayetteville, and Clinton. However, I want to show you a tool that we have using our dual pole radar, and this shows you correlation coefficient. And that line that I drew on this for you really helps to simplify this product. It's measuring different shapes and sizes of objects in the atmosphere and saying, this isn't so uniform. So the yellow area that you're seeing, that's where we've got a lot more sleet and some freezing rain, especially south of that yellow line. And it's north of this white line that I drew here that we've got more sleet and snow, especially as you head to the north. New information, road temperatures are in the upper 20s across the Triangle. Anything that's falling from the sky is going to stick. The roads are really going to get messy over the next several hours. I'll walk you through what to expect hour by hour on Futurecast, live out here on the WRAL weather patio coming up.
All right, Kat, thank you.
Let's go to the WRAL Storm Tracker on the road right now. Amy Wilmoth is on I-40 south of Durham. Amy, you saw a crash in that area just a few minutes ago.
We did. We saw a wreck in Chapel Hill. It was on Raleigh Road, and a car went into the trees. This is a look at the road right now. We're on I-40, but we're going to show you some video of the car that went into the trees. It ran off the road. The snow had just started to stick onto Raleigh Road, and they just lost control. Good news is everyone that was in that car, they're okay. There were no injuries, and that's the good news. But I did see another car that went off the road. We're getting reports of more wrecks, and I can tell you, if you look at the road here, this is I-40 as we approach Wake County. It is definitely treacherous. Luke Notstein is behind the wheel. He's a photojournalist, and he said the truck is sliding around a little bit. So I would suggest just stay home if you can. You can't even see the lines on the road. So what most people do, not the car to the left of us right now, but what most people are doing are trying to just keep their tires in the areas that have already had cars go over them. That's really the only way we're kind of navigating our way back to the station. So very treacherous out here right now. We'll keep you posted on if we see any additional wrecks as we make our way back into Wake County, into Raleigh. Back to you.
All right, Amy, thank you.
So the snow and the ice will be a problem on the roads as we await the plows to help get that all cleared out. Brett Neese is in the WRAL Live Center with a look at the traffic maps. Brett, how's it looking?
Yeah, Ashley, we've watched as this map across the evening has turned from green to purple and now blue across all of our area. Where that green is, that's where the roads are wet. Where you see purple, that's where there are potential spots for ice. Anywhere where you see that light blue and now even some dark blue starting to creep in on my map, that's where you see snow. Have a number of different live cameras I want to pull up. This is I-40 at US 15501. This is where one of those spots of dark blue was, and you can see that the snow is heavy snow, has covered all of I-40 right there at 15501. Let's go to I-85 at Duke Street. Similar scenario right there. Lots of snow-covered highway that people are dealing with. One more look. This is US 1 at Tryon Road, and you can kind of see some of the snow there on the side of US 1. We're going to continue to track all of these conditions, though, out on the roads here in the Live Center.
All right, very good. Thanks, Brett. Schools all over our area either dismissed early or they just went fully remote today. The snow changing schedules for them and for parents.
WR's Destiny Patterson joins us live from Fayetteville Street in Raleigh. Destiny, you spoke with people who had to do some rescheduling, but were looking forward to the snow.
This is typically the time of night when people transition from work to coming downtown to either grab a bite to eat or to grab some drinks with friends. But Fayetteville Street is quite quiet right now. You can see the cars that are still parked down here. They are accumulating the snow. A lot of them have windshields that are completely covered. I talked to about 5-6 people today, and they said that they actually opted to work from home today because they knew that that snow was on its way here.
I'm a little nervous about the chaos on the roads. I'm definitely going to be staying off just because I know a lot of people here kind of panic when there's snow.
So here on the ground, there's not quite enough snow to make like an actual snowball, but there is enough accumulating here that the people who are driving through this area, when they do come through, you can see they're going very, very slowly and very cautiously, as they should, because as the snow starts to accumulate more, these road conditions are worsening. So we will continue to keep an eye out for that and keep you guys updated out here. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
All right, Destiny, the DOT has been treating roads with brine over the last several days. Now they're shifting to salt, and soon after that, snow plows.
WRAL's Carly Haynes is live on Wade Avenue in Raleigh. Carly, what are those last-minute preps from the DOT at this point? Is there anything more they can do?
Well, right now they've transitioned to plowing, and I think we're in a good place to show you their priorities for that plowing. We're standing right on Wade Avenue. This, along with interstates and highways, this is going to be their first priority because it is such a high traffic area, and you can see how many cars have gone through here. And then the secondary roads like Ridge Road coming off of this is going to be their next priority after that. So not as traveled, but we were able to ask the Department of Transportation some questions a little bit earlier at their maintenance yard today. Keep in mind, they're likely going to be hitting some of these same roads multiple times. They have what's called cut and shove crews out there, which will push the initial precipitation to the side of the pavement to clear the lanes. They'll also add more salt to help with snow melt later on. Freezing rain, though, it's going to be the toughest for them to handle because it would bond to the road and make for some dense ice.
This is a tough storm to predict. You know, we're hearing everything from freezing rain, ice accumulation, snow. Come tomorrow, in about 12 hours, we'll know what we have, and we'll have a better feel for how we'll be able to respond. And it's also temperature driven. This one, we're going to have impacts tomorrow, for sure, when people wake up.
And meteorologist Kat Campbell was talking about how you can hear the snow falling. There is ice that is coming down right now, and the Department of Transportation said that you can expect some black ice if you head out the door tomorrow. So better to stay home. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Yeah, there's of course the issue of the ice on the roads, and then there's also the real problem of ice on power lines accumulating.
Yeah,
you know, we
pull
just
those
want to
down.
exactly. We want to keep the lights on, right? And Duke Energy wants to keep that up as well, so it's preparing for this storm.
Willie Danley joining us live from the Duke Energy Operations Center in Raleigh. Willie, any outages to speak of yet?
As of now, there are only about 6 outages that have been reported according to Duke Energy's power map. But I'm going to show you this parking lot. You can actually see the snow sticking to cars here and sticking on the ground. But this is not what Duke Energy is concerned about tonight. Take a look at this. You can see the Duke Energy operation that they have here at the Raleigh Operations Center. We've seen car after car, Duke Energy crew after crew leaving this parking lot, heading out to the streets. According to Duke Energy, it only takes about 1/4 of an inch of this snow to accumulate on a tree branch for that branch to fall. And when those branches falling, it leads to power lines coming down. We spoke to Duke Energy about what they're seeing so far tonight as far as those power outages are concerned.
Well, right now we're looking really good. You see mostly it's snow coming down at the moment, and snow is less problematic than ice for us. It takes a lot of inches of snow to create problems with tree limbs, but it only takes about 1/4 of an inch or more of ice, and then we can start to see those limbs coming down on power lines. So that's what we'll be watching, is where that dividing line is between the snow and ice and what those accumulations are overnight.
Right now, Jeff Brooks from Duke Energy tells us that they don't have any crews that are currently working on outages, serious outages in our area, but they're expecting for that traffic to increase overnight. They did caution anyone who's out there on the roads to drive slowly and be careful, because it's not just your life that's at risk. It's also those Duke Energy crews that are going to be out here tonight repairing those power outages. So just be cautious when you're out there on the roads. In Raleigh, Willie Danley, WRAL News.
All right, Willie, you'll find WRAL wherever you get your news, online, on your phone, or over the air. Look for live weather updates on WRAL News Plus overnight and throughout the day tomorrow. You'll find WRAL News Plus over the air on Channel 34, Spectrum Channel 1257, the WRAL News app as well.
We have more winter weather coverage ahead, but first, the teenager charged with killing 5 people in the Raleigh mass shooting appeared in court today for the first time. What the judge said to a request to move the trial to 2026.
And here's a live look at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. We've been taking this camera several times throughout the evening. Each time, I swear, it's taken up another row of seating in the front. It looks like it. It's fallen hard and heavy there. We have you covered tonight on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. Austin Thompson appeared in public today for the first time. He's the teenager charged with killing 5 people in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood in 2022.
And WRAL's Chelsea Donovan was inside the courtroom when his attorneys argued to push his trial back.
It was eerily quiet when Austin Thompson, now 17, walked out of a holding cell this afternoon. It was the first time the public, all of the media, and of course the victim's family have seen him in more than 2 years. His face looked flush with visible gashes in his forehead. Austin Thompson dressed in plain clothes with shackles around his feet, seen for the first time in a public setting.
I can't really believe that was the same guy that I used to see walking around the neighborhood.
Tracy Howard was among many family members in attendance. Authorities believe Austin Thompson killed Howard's wife, Nicole Connors, and her dog on their front porch in October of 2022.
It's been 3 years. It'll be 3 years in September. You know what's going on.
5 people were killed, including the suspect's brother and a Raleigh police officer. Lynn Gardner, one of 2 seriously injured, sat behind the suspect on Friday.
When this initially happened, it ended up with him suffering a serious gunshot wound that pretty much split his skull open and lost parts of his brain.
His attorneys say Thompson, who was 15 at the time, shot himself in the head before he was captured in this shed after the Hedingham shooting rampage, but is competent to stand trial.
His functioning now is obviously not what it was then.
So they say they need more time to speak with Thompson, his doctors, and go through volumes of evidence.
We would just be asking him to go to February of 2026.
While the state said they were moving full steam ahead with the trial for this September, the judge granted the extension. Family members were visibly upset.
You know, we need closure.
I want to have this be done and behind us and start picking up our lives, moving on.
If convicted, Thompson faces life in prison without parole. He is not eligible due to his age for the death penalty. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News, Raleigh.
The Carolina Hurricanes weren't going to let some snow stop them from facing Vancouver tonight.
No. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is live outside Lenovo Center. Aaron, typically the ice is only inside the arena, but not the case tonight. And it looks like, we see quite a bit of snow behind you.
Yeah, we've been out here for several hours now, and we can see a lot of this accumulation that's right here in this parking lot. For a lot of folks, it was a different story when they came in. It did not look like this, but as I have this temperature gun, we're getting a read of about 27 degrees on the ground, so well below freezing. Definitely have to see what the next few hours will be like when thousands of Caniacs will come out of Lenovo Center and see what those driving conditions are like. If you take a look at this video, we actually captured the moment that several Caniacs were going inside the center. Those are the ones who arrived here moments before we saw a lot of this accumulation on the road. If you ask, where are some of these Caniacs coming from? We found people that were coming from the Sand Hills, Eastern North Carolina. We even found a fan who drove 3 hours from Lynchburg, Virginia. I asked him about any travel concerns that he has about driving home after the game.
It's a 3-hour drive back to Virginia, and if it gets bad, we'll get a hotel. But if it's like this, where it's nice and easy to get home, we'll drive back home. But
And the Canes president says the game has to go on as scheduled because the Vancouver Canucks are already in town, so the game will go on. We're also told by ground crews that they will be doing patrols during the game, so of course we'll be keeping our eye out on any sort of trucks that are driving around to scrape a lot of this slush that you see on the ground at this time. Aaron Thomas, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
One viewer messaged me who's going to the game. He said that he's bringing tarp to put on top of his vehicle so that the snow doesn't accumulate on his car. I thought that was pretty smart.
That is pretty good. Meteorologist Kat Campbell back with us on the weather patio. Kat, it's snowing still there at the Lenovo Center. How soon will that change over?
Well, we don't have very much time left, unfortunately, and I'll show you where that line more toward ice is. But still a good amount of sleet out here on the WRAL weather patio. As you can see, you're not seeing big, fluffy white flakes flying around me. It's not that type of snow, and that's why we've told you all week. It's not a winter wonderland type of snow, more of a wintry mess. A live look at Franklinton, where the snow is sticking to the roads there right now. It's also sticking to the grass. They still have their holiday lights up, so it really looks pretty there in that shot. And a live look from the Natural Sciences Museum in downtown Raleigh. Snow is sticking to the roads on every single one of our downtown Raleigh cameras. So I encourage you, now's the time to stay put. The road conditions are only going to get worse from here, and the roadways are already slick for many of us. A live look at the dual Doppler 5000 radar. It makes it look like it's all snow in Raleigh right now. Definitely still a good amount of sleet mixing in. And to the south where you've got the pink, that's more where we've got the freezing rain. But there's another tool we can use on our dual pole radar. The dual Doppler 5000 radar has something called correlation coefficient, and when we look behind the scenes to really figure out where that rain snow line is, or ice snow line, this is a really useful tool. I have the black line here really highlighting where we've got that changeover, and that's only going to move up closer toward Wake County as the night moves on. So over the next hour or two is going to be our best bet for some accumulating snow, but we're really going to quickly put an end to that, and it turns more to sleet and eventually freezing rain, which is the threat right now in our southern counties. Snowfall over the past 3 days across the country showing that this is not just a North Carolina threat, but widespread travel impacts across the country from this system. And unfortunately, it's not just, dangerous roadways that we're expecting tonight and tomorrow. Because of this freezing rain threat, we can't rule out some scattered power outages from the Sand Hills up into Wake County and toward Rocky Mount, Wilson, Johnston County, and Wayne County. So just a heads up, make sure your devices are charged. Never use any kind of camping stove or anything like that indoors if you do lose power, as it can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning. Let's take a look at Futurecast and walk you through what to expect for the rest of tonight. As I mentioned, your best chance for accumulating snow is going to be over the next hour or two in the Triangle. We're going to start to see freezing rain creep in, perhaps a little earlier than previous runs of Futurecast had forecast, but by midnight, a pretty sure bet that we've got that glaze of ice on top of any sleet or snow that's fallen. And then as we move toward 5, 6 a.m., we quickly see all that precipitation moving out. We'll see the skies clear, but unfortunately the roads are still going to be quite messy tomorrow. Bottom line, most of us are not going to wake up to a winter wonderland. Instead, we're going to wake up to more of a wintry mess on the roads. Temperatures should climb above freezing by the later morning hours. We're in the low 40s tomorrow for highs. And with some afternoon sunshine, that will lead to melting, maybe some improvements on the major highways. Check in on our morning news on WRAL, and we'll show you live pictures of what to expect throughout the morning commute. Have traffic updates for you. There could be some refreezing for anything that melts tomorrow night. 22 is the low. So we are considering another WRAL weather alert day for Sunday. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the day tomorrow. Next week, it looks quieter. Still watching some sleet and snow come down here on the WRAL weather patio.
All right, Kat, thank you.
We have much more winter storm coverage ahead as we bring you this live picture from our WRAL gardens. Yeah, the snow is coming down. It's starting to feel like a little winter wonderland out there. We'll be right back. The meteorologists here at WRAL have many ways to track the wintry weather, and they share them with you. And that includes the interactive radar on WRAL.com.
It's one of the most powerful tools we have, and it's available to you for free. Brett Neese is in the live center to show us how to use it. Brett?
Yeah, Gerald, actually, it's really easy to use. You just go to WRAL.com, whether you're on your tablet, your smartphone, or your laptop, and you go to the weather tab here and see where there's radar boxes. Just click right in there, and then you'll be able to pull up the radar itself. And we have all these tools on the left side of the radar right here that we can change, from the dual Doppler 5000. We can go to Futurecast and see, what's coming here over the next couple of hours, and you can see all that blue and dark blue, the extra snow that is on its way. You can even see the surface temperatures from where you are. Let's say you live in Wake Forest. We can zoom in all the way to exactly where you live in Wake Forest. Let's say you live off of South Allen Road. You can see what that surface temperature looks like right now outside your house. A lot of blue right now, so hovering around that 20-degree mark, which is freezing, which makes for some slippery roads out there. But it's all these tools right there at your fingertips. You can also use our weather app. Just go to your app store on your smartphone and download it.
I use it all the time. It's such a good way to be able to just get up-to-the-minute details over the course of the weekend especially. Thanks, Brett. Our coverage of this winter weather continues on WRAL at 7:30. We have live team coverage to show you what's happening all over the Triangle and beyond. Do stay with us.